come from behind again this season. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 4 in 4 now for Leeds, is number 9 in the Premier League. Jermaine Beckford and Don Matteo have been watching this afternoon's game alongside myself here in the Ellen Road studio. I mean, a point was at the very least of what we deserved, wasn't it, chaps? But what did you kind of make to the performance, the result? How are you feeling at full time?
A little bit relieved, but at the same time a little bit disappointed. We mentioned at half time, we feel like we still had another couple of gears that we could have kicked into, and it was only when Brentford went a goal ahead that we really saw the tempo lift. And that was frustrating because Okafor had been our main threat in terms of the attacking prowess he possessed during the first 65-ish, 70 minutes. And it was only when the changes came in, it was Aronson and Gnonto came on after 70 minutes after the goal, that we saw the front four, Okafor, Aronson, Gnonto and Dominic, really start to click. And that's where the frustration kicks in for me.
It's a different mindset, isn't it, when you're chasing a game as opposed to, we were in that position for the first half, we were thinking, do we go for the win?
We were just trying not to lose, it looked like, rather than trying to get anything out of the game, and that's the frustration. I think, to an extent, that's where a little bit of the blame has been placed at Daniel's door a little bit, just because he's not, like, from a fan's perspective, we want to see attacking football. We know what the team's capable of, we know what all of the players are, what ability they possess, and we want to see it on a daily basis. But at the same time, when you look at Brentford, the last couple of results, you know they're a wounded animal. You know they've got the potential to cause you damage and harm, especially with Thiago up top, who is, he's the second top goal scorer in the league. He's he's very much a handful. Physical, quick, dangerous in front of goal. So you don't want to leave him in areas where he's going to be able to cause us issues. But at the same time, we've got the best form of defence is attack. So why not go for it with the boys that we've got?
Yeah,
that's my angle.
I think Jermaine's right. I think sometimes, like you say, for me, when we got 1-0 down, I seen that great reaction again. Could it have been stopped? Maybe. I think the defensive, we'll look at it when we see the goals. Defensively, we just knocked off for a second. That's the thing in the Premier League that you can't get away with. You don't get away with that.
No, because we started the second half well, haven't we?
We started the second half very well. We were on top, but then they come back into it a little bit. Henderson's obviously a leader. He was driving them forward at that point. Then that little lapse of concentration, it costs you. And it's a killer, really, because when you look about the actual game, I thought, possession-wise, obviously they had more, but I thought we were the better team overall. And I'm a bit gutted we didn't get the result, as in a win, because I thought it was there for the taking, being honest. I really do believe we're the better team.
Been a bit like Fulham and Burnley away. They say a few of the away games this season where we didn't get what we deserved. But I think a point is the least we deserve today. Yeah. And I suppose to talk about the point of whether you're going for the 3 points, going for the point, Daniel Farke would have taken a point before the game. I think I would have. I think we all would have probably. Yeah. But as the game sort of panned out, you're watching it. Probably there wasn't a huge amount of quality on show at times in the game. So you think the longer the game goes on, you think it's there for us. It's there for us to try and win. And actually, when we got the equaliser, you think there's only one team that's going to go on and win it with the momentum we had.
Yeah, exactly. But again, that's where the frustration kicks in, because we know what we're capable of. We've seen how good we can be. So why don't we start the second half by doing that and being a little bit more aggressive? Maybe not throwing all of our attacking players on at the same time, but maybe just coerce 1 or 2 of them in at half time after 50 minutes, for example, just to change the tempo of the game. I was happy with what I saw initially after the goal anyway, as Dom mentioned there.
Okay, well, we'll talk a little bit more about the defensive side of things, the attacking side of things as well very shortly, and pick through the bones of the 2 goals this afternoon. But let's just head down to the capital then and get some reaction with our commentary team. It's Bryn Law and Tony Dorigo.
Cheers. Yes, we are down by touch side now, and the players are beginning to come out for a little bit of a warm down. Hopefully we'll be hearing from a player shortly, but we can reflect warmly on what we've watched there, I think, can't we? Because that was an excellent performance from Leeds.
It was, and we needed to back up the very good performance in the week that we had the previous week. Not always easy. We know London has been difficult for us. Brentford, I think you gave me one great stat that we beat them, was it twice since what, 1950? 1950, which seemed absolutely crazy to me. But I thought we played really well. I thought we had to first win the fight. and that was defend against what their strength is. So they put a load of balls in the box early, they put a lot of throw-ins in, but I thought we dealt with them really well, and slowly but surely we then got into the game. Once we got the ball down, I thought we played really well.
And at the point at which Brentford actually scored, at that stage, it looked like Leeds had really taken control, didn't it?
Second half, we came out the blocks really well. They couldn't get going. You could hear the crowd. They started to get a bit fidgety. We got the ball down and played really, really well. But as we know in the Premier League, concentration is key. And just by switching off one moment, unfortunately, he got inside Jayden Bogle, and then a deflection from Biol, and in it goes. So then you've got to show some character coming back, and I thought we did that in spades. I thought it was excellent.
Well, that's the thing that we've seen in the last few games, isn't it? The ability that the team is showing, even when they go behind, to get back into a game.
It is, and you look back at the performances, I suppose, Brighton away, I thought we were kind of a bit outclassed there. Then you go to Forest, and that, for me, was the one you thought, OK, we need to show something different here. I need to see something different. I've seen plenty different. In the last few games, they're back to, I think, believing. Getting, I suppose, a Man City in the second half on the back foot and a little worried. That gives them confidence, and they've taken that on. And today was another great example of that.
What's the impact of having the formation switch that we saw again today when it's required? Is that actually proving to be an aid, an assistance?
It really is. Flexibility is key, and I think Daniel has mentioned it in that they've worked on this sort of thing, being able to change tactically in training at the right time. That's what they're going to do. We've seen it a few times now. But today you've got three at the back. You've got Biol up against the main man, Thiago. He never got a kick, never got a header. We just nullified that threat, and that's what three at the back allows you to do. Then, of course, Rodon and Strauch still sorted him out once Biol went off, but then we could change it, and then we had some certainly threat down the flanks even more. So I think it's a good weapon to have.
And you got people talking about Dominic Calvert-Lewin and an England return, and you could see why again today, couldn't you?
Well, just put it in the right areas. You know, that sort of ball where you're thinking, OK, put it in the back stick and let him attack the ball. And it's a fantastic header because he doesn't do too much with it. He just allows the pace of the ball onto his forehead, but he's up early. He guides it in. Absolutely superb.
Every point in the Premier League feels like a point won. It really does, doesn't it?
It does. I just like the little gap, 17 to 18, that's what I want. And we've got a little gap there, but we know this is just, part of our journey. There's going to be some difficulties along the way, but, ride this momentum. We've got another big home game coming up, so I think the boys will be really looking forward to that one.
Well, when we talk about points totals and all the rest of it, what you are seeing in terms of performances is something in the last few games that gives a real sense of optimism now, doesn't it? That there's something in the group that can do the job required.
For sure. We were looking at, have we got enough goals in the group? I suppose that would be a fair comment. Now we look like we can certainly score goals. Let's not forget, we're missing Mecha. We're also missing Longstaff as well. So we have players still to come back in, Dan James. But I think if we can keep everyone fit as we can, keep this sort of momentum and confidence and belief, have that flexibility in our tactical situation, we've got a lot of optimism.
Our LUTV Christmas dinner awaits. It's gonna feel all the better for the Calvert-Lewin header, isn't
chat,
it?
I think we're gonna chat over maybe a red wine or so. What do you think?
There's a little bit more work to do, of course, before we look forward to the red wine and whatever else. So we'll have a player hopefully very shortly.
Well, I hope the players and Daniel don't keep you two waiting, chaps, from the red wine, and this will be celebrated tonight here in the capital. Let's go through the two goals that we saw this afternoon, chaps. We didn't think there would be any goals actually at some stages of this game, but we managed to get a couple. And as we've already kind of touched upon, Brentford scored the opener and a switch off, a lack of concentration. And as you were saying earlier, Dom, this is what kills you in the Premier League, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. We can see here the patient build-up from Brentford when no one's really getting up to the ball. Bowles just lost his man there. Obviously, Joe tries to get back just a little bit too late. Obviously, we know how quick Joe is, but he just couldn't quite react. And I think, obviously, Bogle's been so good, so it's really hard to criticise that. But he'll be disappointed with that. But it's just sometimes a little bit of communication when that's happening. Joe reacts, obviously Bogle reacts late, then Joe reacts a little bit late because he does. Look, and the distance is there. It's so hard for Joe to get back. The other guy's already on his way and just gets that touch there. And obviously, when Jordan hits it, obviously it looks like it's probably an own goal. Well, it is an own goal.
Well, I think it might be. Yeah, I think it's going down as an own goal.
So obviously, but it's a good ball in, and I think that, like we've mentioned, we keep saying, and Tony said exactly the same. That Premier League, so it's so crucial for your concentration level.
Okay, let's just go back to the GTEC Community Stadium then, where Bryn Law and Tony Dorigo are joined by Willie Nonto.
I just want to run, man.
Thanks, chaps. We've got Willie Nonto with us, who's meant to be out there doing a bit of running, but you get to do this job instead. Yeah. That's a good point, isn't it, today?
Yeah, I would say so. Obviously, we wanted to win. We tried to win, but today was difficult. We played like lots of long balls, and it was kind of like a fight, you know. So we are happy with the point, and we move on.
Yeah, you had to deal with a lot, but then when you went behind, no heads went down. You had to get back in the game.
Yeah, I think that's our mentality. You know, we know that we can get back into the game even if it's quite late in the game. But I feel like today we showed our character. We didn't make it easy for ourselves, but we got back into the game and we're happy.
I think you must be delighted, certainly with the cross in, because I think sometimes when you play with a striker, just got to get it into the right area, and that was the right area.
I think it's easier when you play with a striker like Dom. You know, you just know that you have to kind of like put it in, as you said, in that area, and he's gonna attack it. So yeah, I thought it was quite a good ball, but he did a lot of the job, and yeah, I'm happy for him.
And when you're getting yourself back into the first team and all the rest of it, you want to take your moments, don't you? So you've made your contribution there. That will be something that will please you, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's not easy. Like, obviously the team is playing well. I think we have lots of good players, and I can say the competition is quite high, but at the same time, you know, I have to try and use all my chances. I think I did it today. I did against Liverpool, and I just have to keep going like this.
We hope you do. Well done. Good work. Great cross.
Go and do some running now, okay? On you go.
Now it's running.
Now go.
The interview's a bit longer.
Longer. See you later.
Willie Nonto's biggest smile in the country right now, and then Tony Dorigo reminds me he's got to go do some running. And then he's just gone, just you know, I know, I've created an assist, I've done my job. I mean, Willie Nonto there, it was always interesting to get the idea or the verdict from the dressing room, because we're all sat here going, yeah, point was good, we would have taken it before the game. And I'd sort of sensed that from Willie Nonto there, Bex. It felt like, they said we tried to win the game, but a point is good.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it's disappointing. It's been the last couple of games where we've gone a goal behind, or two in the last game, but we've been able to show character, show resilience, come back into the game, held it all together, and been really, really professional and really well organised. And one of the things we spoke about before the game started was the impact of our substitutions and how well they've played over the last couple of games when they've been called upon, here at Ellen Road or on the road. And Willie Nonto gets himself another assist, off the bench, and that you can see it in his face, and you can hear it in his voice. He's happy on a personal level that his assist stats are going up, but he's frustrated that he's not starting the games, because I'll be honest with you, that's what I want to see. I want to see that frustration, because that shows that he cares, and that shows that every time he does come on and he does make an appearance, he's going to give us absolutely everything. That work's a treat for me. So all he can do is keep on grafting, keep on working hard, keep getting himself goals, keep getting himself assists, doing well for the team. And when his moment comes, and it will come, it swings and roundabouts. Every now and then a player goes through a bad spell, a bad phase. That player gets taken out, a new player gets put in, could be Willie Nonto. When he gets that opportunity, that's when we're going to see the best of Willie Nonto again. So
yeah, and I guess he's slightly a victim of the system change, isn't he, Dom? Because at Man City he starts, and then the systems change at half time, and then he has to come off the bench against Liverpool, wins the penalty today off the bench, but that's when we've moved to a 4-3-3. So it's unfortunate. It's not necessarily his form; it's more the system and where he plays, isn't it?
Yeah, no, because you don't want to be classed as an impact player, because at the moment that's what he might be, because the team's playing well. And do you accept that? Do you knock on the manager's door? Do players do that anymore? I certainly did a few times and got told to go the other way, you know what I mean? Because, don't
happen to us all, mate.
Yeah, but sometimes, I suppose when you've assisted like he did today, it was a brilliant cross. And that's the exact service that he wants, Calvert-Lewin. That's exactly what he wants. We should be doing more of that. So I feel just frustrated for Willie, because we know he's a lovely guy, isn't he? He's got so much talent. And he'll be frustrated. No one wants to be on the bench, but someone has to be. And while we're playing well, that might just be the case for now. But when he gets his opportunity, like he did today, at some point he'll get that chance and he'll go out there and do what he needs to do, because he'll want to be in that team.
Well, Willie Johnson got the assist for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, making it 4 games in a row in which he's found the back of the net. You know, he's had a couple of tap-ins, a penalty. This is trademark Calvert-Lewin, though, isn't it, Bex?
It is indeed. We were talking off camera a little while ago, and we spoke about the goals that Dominic scored for Everton, the 50-ish, however many it was. And the vast majority come like this. You know, the position that he takes up here, he's not trying to get involved in the build-up play. He's always trying to find himself off the back of the defender. Look at that. He times his movement really, really well. Make sure he gets himself back on side. But it's the jump and it's the hang time. Yeah. It's how high he gets off the floor. All of these things he's perfected over the time that he's been a professional footballer. And for himself, on a personal level, he worked with players like Duncan Ferguson, for example, and Tim Cahill, who aerially were phenomenal players in the air. But you just watch, if you have the opportunity to watch the movement, watch how high he jumps and how long he's in the air for, it leaves the defenders with absolutely no chance. Yeah. You get up early against him, it doesn't matter because he gets up higher than you, but he could stay in the air for longer. It's truly incredible, but it's also the header as well.
Looks great. Like a towering header, just looks great.
When someone scores a header like that, it's the best, isn't it? It's the best. You know, look back to the Everton days, you had Graham Sharp could do that.
Sharpie as well.
All them tabloid, but that I could watch that all day long. That's an unbelievable header. You know, we don't get enough credit for headers, do you, nowadays?
Well, you don't see them very
No, you don't see them.
The way the league's going this year, a bit more direct, long throws. We're seeing flick-ons and headers, and we're looking for crosses.
More often. But over the last couple of years, it's all been get the ball down and try and find the perfect goal. Roll the ball into the back of the net. Go old school. Yeah. I like it. The last couple of games, we mentioned having the 2 big boys up front. Yeah. That's a little bit of a throwback to the 80s, 90s and early 2000s. I love it.
Yeah, the leap will get a lot of credit as well, but look for that movement as well from Dominic Calvert-Lewin. We'll assess a little bit more about Calvert-Lewin's impact today and his goal. But let's head back to the capital where Bryn and Tony are joined by the Leeds United manager, Daniel Farke.
Thank you, Daniel. You're with us. You talk a lot about the character of the group. We definitely saw that today, didn't we?
Yes, but not just the character. So, in my judgment, I'm a bit in between. First of all, it's a valuable point on the road. We are the first side since ages who came here and travels away with points. So, Brentford has beaten all the top sides here at home. For that away point at Brentford is an excellent result. To equalize again with a late goal and also to come back again from a losing position, especially in the away game, especially also with this referee decisions, is excellent. So lots of praise for the boys, also performance-wise. I think we would have deserved a bit more today because we were better in all statistics. So first half, I liked the outcome. Clean sheet, we had the better chances, but not exactly the way we played. I think we could have been a bit more braver. This is what we've shown in the second half. I think just one team was playing and pushing to win this game, but it's football. If you're one time not switch on, one through pass, and then we didn't clear the cutback, and then it feels like Henderson also misses the target and was more or less a half own goal. It's football. Sometimes out of such an unlucky situation you go in behind, but we showed again great mentality and great resilience and great quality also to come back. So excellent point, excellent performance of the boys. Feeling as we would have perhaps deserved even 2 more points.
When you're making your changes, you had to make the change today. To see the impact that those substitutions make, that must be encouraging for you as well, because that means everybody's contributing, doesn't it?
Yes, also that the lads are capable also to change to different base formations during the game, that we're capable to switch between 3 and 4 man formations, and then you don't see any drop in performance or consistency. It's even more or less you find the next gear, and this is quite important and quite remarkable. You just can do this when the players are on it, when they buy into it, and when they are ready also to be smart and to adapt to your ideas, also what you work on the training pitch. And the mentality of this group is never in doubt, and also the work rate, the workload, also performance wise I liked a lot today. So we edged 1 point closer, could have been 3 points, but I don't want to be too greedy. A point away at Brentford in this situation is definitely a good point.
I think certainly we earned the right to play, didn't we, in that first half, but second half we really got the ball down, and we were the dominant force. What changed at half-time?
Yes, I encouraged them at halftime a bit more. We had few mistakes in our pressing, could have pressed them higher, but also especially in possession. I think wanted slightly different structure and slightly different passing angles to dominate the game more. This is what we did in the second half. But yeah, it's football. You have to score a goal. You have to reward yourself. Otherwise, with a half-own goal, anyhow, sometimes you can travel home and can't really explain why you lose such a game. So, but what I like then also the resilience after conceding such an unlucky goal. Also like to still stick to your believings and to keep going till the final whistle. And even after the equalizer, we went for and want to win this game. Excellent stuff from the boys today, and they deserve many compliments today.
You must be happy with the form of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, your number 9 as well, because another great head, another great goal.
Yes, for me, his quality was and is never in doubt. His CV speaks for itself. He's fantastic from the first day he walks in, not just on the pitch but also off the pitch. Great human being, great teammate, works his socks off. For me, one of the best English strikers that we have in the Premier League. We have Harry Kane and playing for Bayern Munich in Germany, but for me, Dominic, one of the best English strikers in this league, and we are pretty blessed that we have him, and he will be an important player also in going forward.
So, little mini unbeaten run. Happy with that?
Yes, it's right. I could have also lived with back-to-back wins anyhow. was possible, but yes, don't want to be too greedy. So it's definitely we're edge 1 point closer, performance-wise. Really good run of form, but we have to keep going. So it's a roller coaster and the marathon, the Premier League. Important, valuable point, but we have to keep going.
Look forward to the next one. Well done, Daniel.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Cheers, Daniel. Excellent, brilliant, good stuff. Good man.
Yeah, I think Daniel Farke there summing up the mood of all of us, really. You know, points a good result at Brentford, don't want to get too greedy. Little unbeaten run, he wouldn't sort of really react to that because he's well aware, isn't he, Bex? There's a long way to go this season, but compared to where we were maybe a couple of weeks ago, there's a lot of encouraging signs at the moment, isn't there?
Absolutely. I think one of the first conversations that happened in the summer was the points that we'd be happy to reach for the season. And I think the first number would have been that magical 40-point mark, which is just over a point a game. We are slap on 1 point a game currently. We're looking at 3 teams below us, which would keep us up in 9 out of 10 seasons. It would keep us up. You look at the teams that are below us currently, and he would have said, "Look, guys, we're not the favourites to win the Premier League this season. However, we're definitely not going to be the favourites to go down. If you look at the quality of the football that we play, the type of players that we're looking to recruit in the summer, and how we operate at Ellen Road.
Yeah,
we're well on track, aren't we?
Yeah, I totally agree with what Bex has said there. I think what I've seen again, it's just they're still confident. The boys, you know, I was worried about the confidence, you know, a few weeks ago. It looks like the confidence back a little bit, and that's obviously come from the manager. Tell them to keep doing the right things every day, week in, week out, day in, day out. That training field is where you get things right again. If you've had a few bad performances, I think they've gone back to basics. And we've had a lot of the boys have been away, and you're playing for the countries and stuff. So I generally think it's been a great few weeks for us, and I think we're in a much better place. All right, the point table, don't worry about that, but it's that because we're playing better, then points will come. And keep performing like we're doing. We'll win more than we lose, 100%. I just feel like something's clicked for me. I can't quite put my finger on it, but something good's clicked for us, where it's the mentality, the way players are looking at games differently. Everyone's doing the job, like when the players are coming on, impacting it. It's happened in all the games recently when we've made changes, they've gone and done something. So gives the manager nice problems.
Well, I think if you look at both ends of the pitch today, you've got Beale doing a job on Thiago, who's in red hot form. He barely had a kick all day.
Great game he had today.
And then you have the other end, you've got Calvert-Lewin, he gets one chance, and he tucks it away, and that's the difference, isn't it?
And Ethan Ampadu in the middle.
Yeah.
You know, so you look at the core of the team. The core is so strong, so solid, so organised, so disciplined. But they're all leaders. They're leaders through the core of the team. And when you've got Dom will tell you, when you've got a core of players who dictate and dominate where everybody goes and what happens next, the rest of the game for the rest of the players tends to be much easier.
Yeah.
You know, we're still without Longstaff, we're still without Dan James and Lucas Mecha as well. Yeah. And when those 3 come back, on top of the players that we've got on the bench currently, genuinely, games like today would end in a victory. So as frustrating as I am currently, because I know we could have ended up winning that game, I know for a fact that the next time we play them, we're going to walk away with 3 points, as long as we've got our full squad fit.
Big shout for a penalty second half as well.
Yeah.
Maybe not as big a shout for the players as there was in the studio.
No.
But, you know...
That's what we expect from them, though.
Yeah. I mean, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was pulled to the ground, was he not? It was certainly far more of a penalty than the one Brentford were given first half.
Totally agree. And I just think to myself, why not react like you've gone down? Because he did get
the worst that could happen?
That's the worst.
Do you think VAR has kind of stopped players doing anything? Well, VAR will sort that out. Is it worth the protest now and the sort of surrounding the referee?
Why not? If it gets you a penalty or gets you a result, 100% go for it. And be a bit noisy. Get right in the ref's ear like everyone else does. Everyone does it. You know, you see it at the big clubs. You know, the old days, a team that won't talk about from over the road. You know, they used to do it all the time. You know, if the referee's getting wrong, they'd be right on them straight away. So I'm not saying to do it in the way like they used to back in the 80s, 90s.
Well, the regulations have stopped that.
They have.
But put a bit of pressure on them.
Yeah, put a little bit of pressure on, exactly. You know, because you never know.
In some respects, he shouldn't be. I mean, the ref's got a good view of that one. He didn't really have a great view of the Brentford one, I don't think, first half that he gives.
Yeah.
But that would seem to be right in front of him there, where Calvert-Lewin was brought down.
But again, you spoke about VAR. What's the point in having them if they're not going to pick up things like that unless a player starts screaming and shouting? It's stupid. It's so backwards. Like, if I was on the pitch in place of Dominic today, and the guy's I've controlled the ball, and then he's pulled me back and I've fallen down, I'm screaming at the top of my voice, ref, look at that, call the cameras, something. Make it known to the referee that a little bit of foul play's gone on. Even though you know for a fact he's seen it, reiterate. And then maybe that creates a chain reaction and the fans will say, hold on a minute, maybe something happened. And then the guys in the VAR room turn around and say, right, well, maybe we missed something. Let's have another look at it.
I think that's one. And no one cares about my opinion, but I think that's one. I think that's one that if the referee gives it on the pitch, I don't think VAR overturn it.
No.
But I think because the ref didn't give it, I think they'd say it wasn't clear and obvious error.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the problem.
Anyway, it was a clear error.
We couldn't get through this afternoon, could we, without talking about VAR of some sort. So where does today leave us then ahead of next Saturday, Dom? Crystal Palace coming here. They've been well beaten by Man City. There's no great shame in that, as we know. But back at Ellen Road, you know, Saturday night game, 8 o'clock kickoff, unusual kickoff time. But you know, well, do you know the only thing I'd say about that is the atmosphere on a Saturday, 8 o'clock.
Well, the fans,
you know, the fans have more time to warm up, should we say?
Yeah,
I think I'd say
that's the exact word.
From a 3 o'clock to
a
an
lovely
8 o'clock.
warm up in the Peacock.
Extra 5 hours.
Doing the Peacock and then away they go. But no, I think listen. We know Palace have a threat. They've got some good players. Obviously, they played Man City, got easily beaten. Was it 3-0 or something? Yeah. But I just think that Palace are a dangerous team. They've got some good players. Defensively, they're obviously poor yesterday, but they're good usually defensively.
Those are one of the best defenders.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I still think at Ellen Road, we can get after them. We really can. We've got to take confidence out of today's performance again. So yeah, fans will always play a big part. We know that, home and away. But again, at this point, at home, it's a fortress for us. Let's keep doing it. Keep making sure we get these wins. And I think it's another opportunity.
Yeah, it's another opportunity to keep everyone going at momentum. Yeah. Bex, that's key, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I reiterate everything that Dom said there. I would say the last 3 performances. You know, we're 3 unbeaten now, sorry. So now let's turn it into a run. And we can do that here. We can create all sorts of carnage and get in their faces and be aggressive in the right ways and move the ball nice and quickly. Hopefully we should have 1 or 2 more players back. Fingers crossed, all things go well. But I don't see why we shouldn't be able to really give them a good game.
Yeah, I think you've got to give the manager. I mean, we've all been. Everyone thinks they're a manager, don't they? But I think the manager's. He's gone about his business this year. I think a little bit different. Don't know what it is. It just seems like he's getting business done.
Well, it's some turnaround. It
really is.
From
it really
a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
There was a lot of outside noise around Daniel Farke.
Especially when you look at the 3 games that were coming up as well.
Correct. And, you know, like you say, I don't think sometimes we do give managers enough credit. And he's doing a brilliant job for us at the minute. And long may that continue. And I think he's the type of manager who'll tell people. I don't know him personally, but I'm sure he'd tell people. If you're not putting a shift in, he'll tell you. I'm sure of that. You can just tell by the way.
Well, that's at the end of Daniel Farke's hairdryer treatment, would you? No. And just for the record, I'll go 3.5 games unbeaten backs. I'm going to put that second half game at Man City. That was the start of the run. Anyway, thanks for your company this afternoon, gents. It wasn't the most thrilling of game, but another point picked up for Leeds United. We'll be back here on Saturday night, where I promise you, Ellen Road will be lit up and a lot more atmospheric than it is tonight. But thanks for your company this Sunday afternoon on Matchday Live. We'll see you on Saturday at Ellen Road for the visit of Crystal Palace. But as Leeds United's unbeaten run continues,
the buzz,
point picked up at Brentford,
the joy,
where it finished Brentford 1.
The build-up. Christmas is here.
Red Bull gives you wings.